Welcome to Rack of the Week 169. We are returning to Bayshore Billiards, Straight Pool League over on Long Island. I looked at a player from their league, Eric, in Rack of the Week number 160. This week we're going to take a look at another amateur. I like to feature amateurs besides myself on the channel. And this is going to be John Walsh, one of their top players. This is a recent match, I think just last week. You can find Bayshore Billiards Straight Pool League on Facebook. Straight Pool Fanatics, and Steve Kurtz runs the league out there. I'm just going to take my face off the screen. This was an epic match. It was a competition between two of their best players and a race to 235 points. And I'm not going to tell you who won. You'll have to go on Facebook and watch the stream to see. But this is John Walsh early in the match. He's on a run of 25. Inside angle break shot. I want to point out something right here. John's a left-handed player. And he's stretched out over the table, and he's got a long butt end extension on his cue. So I would say in this case, whenever you're either your bridge or your stance, in this case, bridge and stance are both compromised. He's got a very long bridge stretched out over the table. He's left-handed, so he's breaking from the opposite side of the rack, we would call it. You don't want to stroke the rack with a full stroke. You want to take something off. Just ensure the accuracy of pocketing the ball and control the cue ball, and that's what John does. He doesn't blast this rack, just little short punch draw stroke, and that's for accuracy. Even though these look like maybe 5-inch pockets, possibly, you still hit the edge of the pocket. So it's important to make the ball. Don't try and anytime your bridge or stance are compromised, don't try and give it a full stroke. So the ball's open pretty well. There is a cluster in the center of the table, which is to be expected when you don't blast the balls trying to open them wide. And as expected, we have perimeter balls all on the side of the table opposite from where the break ball was. So that's all standard. He does have one shot, and it's a back cut on this 8-ball. So we're going to see the same thing in the sense that John doesn't try to accomplish too much here. I called this Rack of the Week Nudge with Care. So when he cuts the 8-ball, he knows that the cue ball is going to hit this ball, which is kind of a shame because this ball's in a great break ball position. You'd really rather not bump that ball. So, if he wanted to, he could put a little bit of draw on the cue ball and maybe run into this ball. But again, you want to keep the cue ball under control. You want to ensure that you're going to have a next shot. There's no reason to risk something like that. Just keep it simple. And so John's just going to put his efforts into pocketing this ball. Take a look at him. He's eyeballing it, making sure where he wants to hit it. You don't want to undercut it because you don't want to double kiss the 3 and miss the shot. So he's just really eyeballing this and making sure that he's going to pocket the ball, not going to hit it too hard again. Just keep it under control. So nudge with care. The 5-ball is going to head up table, but the cue ball is going to be on that side. He'll have a shot at the 1. Or the 15, or perhaps the 9-ball back this way, just like that. So that's just shooting with care, nudging with care. So now he's going to take a look at the opportunities. Now he's going to try to formulate a plan because you've got this cluster of balls that you need to open up. So you're asking yourself, how can I do that? I see several ways. One would be you get a low angle on this 9. Cut it after the 3's gone, cut it thin and run into these. It's not recommended because there's no pocket for the ball. The cue ball could hit this ball that's up loose and it could run up table. It could run down here and freeze on the rail. So that's not a good opportunity. If you get this window right here on this 9-ball, that'd be a great opportunity. Then you can kind of split these balls and everything would open up pretty cleanly there, I would think. Another opportunity would be the 2-ball. If you get this angle on the 2-ball in the side pocket, then you've got a natural, after these balls are gone, to go 2 rails, and it just goes right up into that stack. And in this case, as you can see, you've got a pocket to catch the cue ball. Another one would be this angle on this ball in the side pocket, and then the cue ball can run straight down this way. That's going to be a little bit tricky because, again, if you hit this 7, your cue ball could head right for the pocket for a scratch or something like that. But the point is, this is where your mindset's at early in the rack. You're looking for that opportunity to gain an angle on a shot that's going to nudge these balls a little bit. And again, we're going to nudge with care and have insurance. So in this case, I think it's pretty This is a pretty standard shot. I think a lot of people would choose this. Just shoot this 3 and draw back. Because at that point, you're going to have a shot on the 9 ball in the same pocket, or perhaps one of these balls up table or on the side. Oh, but he fooled me. He didn't draw the cue ball straight back. So maybe we can learn something from that. Let's think about it. If you drew the cue ball straight back, which is what I saw, you're putting the cue ball on the table. So you're only going to have a shot on this ball or this 15 in the side maybe. Unless if you tried to play speed just to get this angle on the 7. However, by going around the rack this way, John's putting the cue ball in the center of the table. From the center of the table, he could have a shot on any of these balls. Food for thought. Good shot. And then having done so, based on where the cue ball stopped, John's got a real good shot to go to the center of the rack from the 15, which is what we identified earlier. I'm trying my best to climb inside of his brain and think about what he sees. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. I would think he's trying to hit the 14 full, because that's going to knock the 9 this way, and it should nudge some balls open. Again, he's not going to blast into this. Why is that? Because you want the cue ball to stop here so that you have a shot on the 9 or the 1 in the side. You want insurance. So it's nudge with care. That's probably what he's trying to do. It's possible he is trying to hit either the 8 or the 4, whichever that is. I don't think so. I think he was trying to hit the 14. But now, lo and behold, look, got a shot on the 9 to open up some balls. And how would you hit this ball? Because, again, the theme of this week is nudge with care. A lot of people are going to see this shot, and it's the right shot. Obviously, he could shoot the 1 or the 9, but this is the right shot because you can open balls, and you've got insurance on both the 9 and this ball back in this pocket. But a lot of people are going to say, oh, I want to blast this and get these open. I'm going to cut this and let the ball run into these balls hard and smash them open. Well, you don't need to do that. Number one, you're trying to create a break ball, so you don't need to hit this hard. Maybe one of these balls is just going to float over here a foot. If you hit it hard, it'll travel farther than that, and you won't create a break ball. Number two, if you hit the cue ball in that direction, and I've seen this happen many times, the cue ball can like ricochet off from a couple of balls and just travel a couple of inches and park itself right behind a ball here, and you have no shot. So again, this is nudging with care. Rather than running into the 2, John's going to run into this ball because that keeps the cue ball over here where you have your insurance balls. So nudging with care, intelligent straight pool. You don't need to be in a hurry to get these balls open. And even doing that, preserving a shot as an insurance ball, he got more balls open than I expected. Now, from this point, you're thinking about an end pattern and a break shot because he's already made up his mind, because there is no break shot right now. There's nothing on the side of the rack. This ball right here could be a break shot if you get this angle, but that's never ideal. You really wouldn't. You would prefer not to have to do that. The 2 ball could also be a break ball, like I mentioned earlier. You can go side rail, bottom rail into the stack. Again, not a preferred break shot, not a high percentage of getting a good shot after the rack. So we're still looking for a side of the rack break shot, and I'm not sure if John sees it from this point. What I see is basically a stop shot on this ball, or maybe draw back a little bit, because then you have an angle to cut this ball and just go up into these softly, and you might knock the 6 ball over this way. But again, preserving a shot on your insurance ball, nudging with care again. That's not what John chooses, and I don't remember exactly how he gets there. Let's take a look. Okay, he probably was trying to run into those right now. Again, softly, you just nudge him a little bit, and you a lot of times it improves the lie, and you can come up with something. Now, John's going to take a look right here, I believe it is. Yeah. So he's still thinking, how can I nudge a ball and get a side of the rack break shot? He's taking a look at his options. He just looked to see if this, I believe he just looked to see if this stripe ball went in the side from here, because maybe he could maneuver the cue ball somewhere up here. I wonder if at this point he's seen this. I think he has, because what he does eventually is recognize, and I mentioned this a few weeks ago. I made a rack of the week called Connections. So you're looking at what balls easily connect to another. So a shot on this stripe in the corner pocket connects automatically with a stop shot to the 6, where you can nudge this and push this ball over for a break shot. Now, that's what he eventually does. So, obviously, I know that. So I might be I got a little bit of a Monday morning quarterback advantage. But I think he saw this ahead of time. Now, right here, I also see, I might be tempted to send the cue ball right into here to nudge that 6 ball over. But you don't have an insurance ball. So John's not doing that. I think he's thinking about that connection that I mentioned earlier. Oops, let's hit play. So the only shot here is the 1 ball. And he needs to get the cue ball close to over here for this 10 in the side. So that's absolutely what he's playing. If he doesn't get there, he's got a shot on the 2 in the side of the 14 this way. But as you can see, he landed perfect on that 10 ball, and he just took a real close look at that. And I wonder if you noticed, because if you simply get an angle on the 6 and run into the 7, you might knock the 7 ball this way and barely move the 9 at all. So he noticed that he doesn't want a big angle. He wants a shallower angle because he needs the cue ball to glance the edge of the 7 ball, because then that'll put the energy in this direction, knocking the 9 ball over for a break shot. Again, that's nudging with care. And that's a really great shot as well, because the cue ball then is going to go this way off the 7, and he'll have a shot on the 2 ball. So a little drag draw, it looked like there, just to control the speed of the cue ball, just to get it to softly roll forward a couple of inches. And now he's taking another look to, you guessed it, nudge with care. Okay. So you just want to, just hit the edge of that 7 ball. Again, anytime he's nudged a ball or run into balls in this rack, the ball that he ran into didn't travel more than a foot. That's how you play good straight pool. A little bit tricky end pattern here, and it takes some more care to get through it. He's checking with the rack to see if the 9 ball goes in. And if you notice, he asked for permission from his opponent to do that first. I'm going to have to look up in the rules, or maybe somebody remembers what the rule is. I'm not sure if you're allowed to use the rack to determine, or maybe you are. I'm going to have to look that up. Anyway, so the 7 ball, he's already looked a couple times, doesn't go here. So he's committing to that 14 ball as a K2. He's going to go side rail, head rail, and back down to center table. Whenever you're in doubt, center table is where you want to go. You have the most shots from the center of the table. So from here, he could either try to slide past the 7 over here. I don't like that. It's a really hard shot to control, but what else are you going to do? You guessed it, nudge with care. Just a soft nudge shot. Now, I like that shot because it could have happened a couple of different ways. He could have also have moved the 7 ball over farther to make it a break shot, and then use the 9 as the key ball and just draw back for that to land here for the 7 ball as a break shot. That's also a possibility. However, John's going to favor the 9 ball as the break shot because he's left-handed. And so this is a nice key ball. From this angle, you want to come tight out of the corner like that, because if you don't get that cue ball to come to a lot of spin, if you don't get it to come tight to this rail, then it comes up too high and your cue ball ends up way up here. So by getting it tight out of the corner, then you come diagonally towards the center of the table, and you're going to have an angle on that break shot because you can't come tight enough to get straight in or pass straight in. So now he's on 39. And we'll take a look at his break shot, the following break shot, as we usually do. This is I'm going to pause him for a second. You've seen me and a lot of other people shoot this. High break ball, very close to the rack. You don't want to get carried away here. Obviously, you can blast it and spread the balls wide if you want to take a chance, but that's not great straight pool. What are the object balls going to do out of the rack? We know when the object ball is close to the rack, he's hitting the head ball right here. We know that this ball, the top ball on the other side of the rack, is going to the side rail and out in front of the side pocket. We know that. We know that this ball is going to the bottom rail and out. Okay? So we know those two things for sure. So where's the best place to put the cue ball? Right there. I'll leave my lines up. This is just a punch, soft punch draw off from that head ball to center table. Now, obviously, I've watched the rack before. I knew where the balls were going, but you can go back to my rack of the weeks and watch every single break shot. With a high ball close to the rack, you're going to see the same exact pattern. That's how I knew John knew the same thing, and that's why he did that with the cue ball. Again, I mentioned this in the beginning. We have a cluster in the center of the table. We have perimeter balls on the opposite side of the break shot. Straight pool is just about understanding how the rack opens, how to control the cue ball, rinse and repeat. So he's doing the same thing now. He has 2 shots to choose from, this one and this one. I'm sure he's going to shoot the ball on the side. And he's looking for a shot to open the balls in the center of the table with insurance to continue the run. I hope you like that. Remember, if you're going to play straight pool, nudge with care and play it straight. And thanks for watching. See you next week on Rack of the Week. Bye.